Hey there, welcome to another episode of Two Guys One Crypt. With me this week, Chuck couldn't make it, unfortunately, guys, but I guess actually kind of fortunately, because we got Ron Purtee here joining us this week, guys. How's it going, Ron?
I feel very underdressed without a beard and
deep gravelly voice like, "Hey, I'm Chuck Nasty, everybody. Listen to Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat."
that's a hell of an impression, except he shaved his beard.
Yeah, I know, but it'll grow back. And whereas his will grow back, since I can't really grow a big, manly Wisconsin beard, I just don't bother. I shave all the time. It's almost like an obsession.
Do you remember back in like the 90s and stuff, we had the infomercials for the spray-on hair?
Right. I'm just going to go like this and be like,
spray-on beard.
Yeah,
exactly.
Spray hair on my face.
I absolutely love the fucking idea. So anyways, before we go ahead and introduce our guest for this week, Ron, I know you've been pretty busy doing a lot of stuff on your Twitch, so why don't you tell everybody a little bit real quickly about what you're doing right now?
I'm just kind of we're playing games, a lot of horror games, a lot of Dead by Daylight, Resident Evil 2, stuff like that. And there's new stuff going to be going up on the YouTube as well. And we're streaming tomorrow, which is going to be the 3rd at 8 p.m. Eastern over at twitch.tv/Real Ron Purtee. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So stop on by and say hello and say Justin sent you.
Yeah, definitely. Say I sent you, and somehow I get a bonus, right, Ron? You send me like $1 for everyone.
Yeah. It's
Chuck. Yeah, no, I'm Chuck. I don't know who Ron is.
Right.
Yeah.
So, anyways, let's go ahead and introduce our amazing guest for this week. So, Ron, I know you're excited.
I'm very excited.
That's for sure. So this week, joining us on Two Guys One Crypt is Debbie Dutch. Hi, Debbie. How are you doing?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Ron. Hi, Jess.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I am just doing groovy.
Right. That's awesome. Oh wow, we got a lot of comments coming in already. Everybody loves us. Everybody does.
I'll get more comments.
Ooh, that's pretty good, man. I already see everybody jumping up. We got our good buddy Steve Merlot joining us tonight. For those who don't know, Steve is doing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan film, which is doing pretty well on his Indiegogo right now. So everyone should go check that out. It's pretty cool.
Dog will hunt.
Awesome. So anyways, Debbie, how are you doing? Thank you very much for being able to join us this week.
Well, I'm just so excited to be here. I can hardly sit still.
That's awesome.
I thought that was just because I'm here, but I mean, I guess that's okay too.
Oh, because you're here too, Ron.
Yes, of
You're
course.
surprised. I thought Chuck was going to be here.
See, it was a good surprise.
I am surprise number one.
Surprise!
Number one.
Surprise!
That's awesome. We got Legend Ant 420 joining in. Friday Wild Night. So it's definitely a wild night.
This has just become the best show of yours I've ever been on.
I love it. I do. I really, really do. And I can't wait to talk about the movie that we were able to do this week, which was actually suggested by you, Hollywood Warrioress. So that's going to definitely be a pretty fun chat. But before we get to that, Debbie, is there anything going on new with you lately? Is there anything that you can share?
Hollywood Warrioress.
Ooh, awesome. That's an awesome poster.
Yeah.
I really think you should get more printed.
Yep.
Oh, they are printed. I mean, I have actually I actually have a franchise ready to go of Bouchers and comic books. Everything's ready.
Oh wow.
But basically
I love comic books on it.
Oh, you should see the comic book. It's really good.
I can only imagine the artist's rendition of you, my dear. It must be stunning.
You wouldn't believe it, but there's like 3 or 4 different interpretations from 3 or 4 different artists, and I love them all. And there's also a statue. I have it in my living room in the other room. I won't bring it in. Do you remember the old model kits?
Mm-hmm.
That, you had a cast and then you put them all together and painted them, and they're actual works of art. They're not just like the plastic action figure. Yeah, I had 200 made of the Hollywood Warrioress, and I actually designed it with the crystal ball in my hand because it's supposed to be hope for the future. The camera's opposite for me, so
yeah, they are on here.
but anyway, in my hand is a crystal ball, of which I could see into the future for millennium of time, and then a lotus blossom at my foot, which is the symbol of enlightenment and happiness for humanity and peace and all that kind of love and all that kind of good stuff. And of course, this gigantic sword. And actually, you know, I used a sword from Lord of the Rings in my final, when you see the final fight scene. That's a sword from the one of the prop swords of the Lord of the Ring, but it's very authentic.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Man. The final fight scene.
Oh, I watched the entire movie.
Yeah, and I had just flown in from Toronto. I had been a week in Toronto at a resort with some friends of mine. I will admit, it was a summer vacation, and we were having lots of fun. Let's just put it that way. So I was kind of burnt out when I flew into Philadelphia. We actually shot it in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. Oh, and it was in late July, and it was 104 degrees, that final fight scene. So of course I had no sleep. I had partied for almost a week straight in Toronto, and I had to fight 9 professional swordsmen, and I really don't know how to sword fight, but Sean McGarry, who is a professional swordsman, choreographer, trainer, he trains people how to sword fight. He would show me what to do, but we shot that final fight scene for about 4 hours, and it was burning hot, and there was these huge mosquitoes. I don't know if you know about South Jersey. You're in Michigan, right, Ron?
I'm in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Okay. I'm in Northwest Ohio, but I'm like 5 seconds from Michigan.
Well, in New Jersey, in the Pine Barrens in the summer, it's kind of close to the Atlantic Ocean, Atlantic City, etc., and so forth. Huge mosquitoes. I mean, like as big as my hand almost. And they're all over the place. They were biting me. I had big welts. When you watch that scene, so I'm bit all over by mosquitoes. I'm carrying this huge sword from Lord of the Rings, and I have to do each guy that I kill and the 2 women, I had to shoot it a couple of times because we had to do the close up. We had to do,
Right.
I was so exhausted. So at the end, when you see me limping, I'm actually limping.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize it was like that there. That's crazy. I had no idea where you actually filmed the fight scenes. Because like compared to the rest of the movie, well, like almost all of the fight scenes were done somewhere else because they teleported to the woods. So it was obvious that the fight scenes were somewhere else, but I was kind of curious on that. So I didn't realize that was all done in Jersey then.
No.
Oh, I thought
we shot in 4 locations. Las Vegas. Wow. One fight scene was in Las Vegas. Oh, wait a minute. I'm thinking of my new series. My new series is shot in Las Vegas and Chicago and Los Angeles, of course, Hollywood, Philadelphia, and actually New York, Long Island, the new series. But the original movie was shot in Philadelphia, New Jersey, Los Angeles, and Chicago. If you notice at the end, it'll say locations.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Chicago's only a hop, skip, and a jump away from old Ron here.
Oh, yeah.
4 hours from me.
I'm planning on filming this summer. with my dear friend Brian Kurse, who writes for the Horror Society, and that's how I met him. He did an interview on me. Do you know the Horror Society? It's kind of like an internet. Yeah, they review films and whatnot. They reviewed.
I'm pretty sure they've done a write up about me before, so yeah, I know who they are.
Oh, they're fabulous.
Yeah,
I met Brian, and we just became really good friends and everything. And he's a very talented actor, etc. and so forth. And so I said to him, "Hey, you want to play the newscaster? Because we needed a newscaster to all of a sudden announce the news and da 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 da." And it's also in the comic book about how, and it's broadcast on the news. Oh, and the Warriors did this, and there's a murder here and a kidnapping, And so Brian said yes, and he has a really cool film production company in Chicago, and Alley Cat Comics is there. And so we actually shot at Alley Cat Comics in their sort of courtyard there. And it is, Nick and everybody at Alley Cats is so cool. So we actually did a premiere at Alley Cats. We did a premiere in New York. I did a premiere in LA, and I did a premiere in Chicago for the Hollywood Warrioress.
That's very cool.
Wow, that is awesome. That especially considering, like, not only did you go and do the premiere all those places, but you wrote, directed, it starred in this movie, everything. This is definitely your project, written all over
Sly
it.
Stallone, and I know Sly.
Yeah,
Rocky.
right. Oh man. So anyways, I guess before we get on, I guess we talked quite a bit about the movie already, but so pretty much this movie is about, well, first off, you're actually playing multiple characters in this movie as well, what I like to call pulling an Eddie Murphy.
I bet you didn't. How many parts do you think I played in the Hollywood Warrioress?
Well, I know for sure 3. But I think you did 4, didn't you? Did you do were you the other, I'm probably wrong. You weren't that lady.
Which one?
In the chair? No.
What chair?
The
one that you sit in.
Yes. The wheelchair.
Oh no.
No, I'm trying to think, because that person looked like there was a lot of makeup.
That's my mother.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything bad by it. I a lot of people, you would go and put like a lot of makeup on and everything for like certain roles, so they would specifically look different. Well, you do look like her. It was like the lower part of the face is where I could see what looked like a really strong resemblance right there. So I was just trying to figure out what it would have been.
So what was the 4th character? You played Athena, you played Debbie, and then you played the Warrioress. Yeah, who was the 4th?
I gotcha, huh?
You got me, darling. You got me.
You do.
I'm
trying to think right now in there.
Okay, well, I'm not going to tell you yet.
Fantasy girl.
I'm going to let you think about it.
All right.
Oh, having me think is a bad idea.
It's actually one of the best parts in the whole movie.
I'm assuming that
I thought the Hollywood Warrioress was the best part in the movie.
I think you're talking about the silk robe scene.
What's that?
Well, you said the best part of the movie.
Oh, you mean Debbie D and I kissing each other?
Oh yeah.
No, that was as Deborah.
I know. I was joking. I know.
I mean, it was a pretty great scene in the movie.
So I got you stumped, right?
You do. You definitely got me stumped on what other scene.
I'm going to keep you stumped, okay?
Well, that's fine. I'm going to rewatch it again as soon as we get off of here.
I am going to tell you before the night is out. Maybe you'll even pull that scene because the audience is going to love it. One of the best scenes in the movie.
Ooh. There is a lot of really good scenes in it. And I'm pretty sure I already named the best one, to be fair.
Which one's that?
The scene in the silk robes with you and Debbie.
Oh, yeah. And I can tell you about that scene.
Oh, yeah? What can you tell us about it?
Well, Did you want to do something else before we got into this story, the movie?
Well, we've already kind of like established what the movie was about. The movie.
Yeah, why don't you do your thing?
Okay, yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and give
don't forget that thought.
I won't.
Oh, it's going to be really hard to forget that thought.
Yeah. So, anyways, a quick.
You're living rent free in my head, lady.
Right. So I guess if I had to go down and explain this movie, shortly for anybody who hasn't seen it, what it would be about. This movie is about Athena giving power to who we find out is Debbie, and to pretty much help other people in need. And at the time, we end up figuring out that we have our main protagonist. Oh my God. He looks like the devil. I feel like he should have been called Hades, to be fair, with Athena. That really messed with me the whole time I watched the movie. But
Edward X. Young.
Hey, you played Devereaux.
Yeah, Devereaux. Yeah, and I really like the effects that they did with Devereaux when they actually showed his like more demonic form. What they did there, it kind of gave me a almost like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer vibe.
Right. Well, let me give credit where credit is due. The editor, James Panetta, is in Philadelphia, and he's a genius. He used to work for, I believe it was NASA or something. But anyway, he left there to get into his own filmmaking thing and whatever. And I hooked up with him through my girlfriend, Debbie D., who plays my arch enemy, Morgana, in the movie. Yep. But Debbie D. and I go back, I won't tell you how many years, but we met at Chiller Theater, and she's Debbie D. and I'm Debbie Dutch. And we were both young scream queens back in the day. And the fans are lining up to get her autograph, etc. and so forth. And we just became best girlfriends, so to speak.
I could see that. I could see
couple
you
of
guys,
double D's.
Like...
Well, anyway, Debbie D. and James Panetta worked together with other her series called Destiny the Vampire Mermaid. So I had been shopping. I don't know if you guys know it or not, but I go to the American film market, and I've been in a lot of movies, and I always help sell my
very
film.
obvious.
and I have a lot of contacts in the industry, so I go down the film market every year. So I went down there, and I have some big movie financiers and stuff that I know, and they know me and like me. So I decided to make a treat. Oh, it's an even longer story than that. But anyway, my point is I got a couple of financiers. The film was actually started a couple of times, but one time the director ran off with the movie. The other time, one of the financiers turned out to be a crook. And so I just, did not give up hope and lose faith. What I did was I just decided to do it myself. And I had just finished shooting a Destiny not a series, but I'm in the series, but I mean one of her segments in her series. And because I would go back home because my home's back in New Jersey. And I said to Debbie, Debbie, do you think that James would be interested in getting involved with my little movie project here? Because all these because I had a big budget from 20th Century Fox for, I had two different big budgets, one for $750,000, and this is back in the early 2000s. Okay, so $750,000 for a low budget back then was pretty good. And then I had a budget for $3 million, which was back then for a low budget horror sci-fi film was excellent, because I have to go Screen Actors Guild because I'm in the union. So I said, I don't have a budget. I just decided to do it myself. And, I'm a single actress out here, and I do live in West Hollywood, and, I live like, I don't want to say it, but I live like a movie star. So, I do.
Right. If anybody follows your Instagram, it's amazing, some of the stuff. I love it. I really do.
Anyway, all the money that I have, I go out and spend it. I work hard, but I spend it. So I don't have much left over to make a Screen Actors Guild movie. I said, I'm going to do it anyway. And so James came on board, and Rusty Petrock. I don't know if you know William Petrock, but he directed a lot of the Destinies. I said, hey, Rusty, he's in Ohio, Dayton, Ohio. I said, Rusty, can you come and direct our first part of the movie and get it going here? And I said, I can only give you X amount. And I got, staying, in my mom's house. We have a big home in New Jersey, and everybody had their own bedroom, and it was so exciting. And that's but James does all these fabulous special effects, and wait until you see the new series. I'm so excited. It's been kind of like slow because of the COVID, but I'm going to have the premiere of the first episode of this series, which is called War of the Gods. I would say within a month.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, because
I'm really excited to see where you can actually take this story, because you can literally apply like the main plot of what's going on to any situation and still make it work. So it's really cool, and it's like ever expanding because of that idea.
I'm so excited.
Now in the series, are you going to, because you kind of didn't touch on it in the movie too much, but are you going to be doing something about, because you're the powers now, because in the movie, and it's not a spoiler really too much, but in the film, if you don't recharge your powers by the full moon, then you lose your powers.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, definitely. Which is fine. I guess something must have happened. But anyways,
did I spoil the movie?
Oh no, you didn't spoil it. There's definitely that part about the movie, that's for sure. And like, honestly, just so people know that this movie is available right now on YouTube.
Check this out, you guys.
Oh, she's got the. Oh, there you go. Very cool. Very cool.
And awesome. Right now, this is how I recharge my battery. Wait a minute, I'm just trying to get in the camera here.
Oh no, we definitely got it.
Oh yeah, we can see it.
And it's a diamond, and on the front it's a rainbow, and it says Hollywood. And guess where I got it?
Hollywood.
Yeah, it was like right before I was going to fly to New Jersey to do the first filming of the first scenes of the Hollywood Warrioress. Something possessed me as I was getting my wardrobe together to go down Hollywood Boulevard. I went into one of the souvenir shops, and I said, "This is my power. I recharge my batteries."
I love it.
It's a famous diamond, and it's in the series. And I don't think it's at the souvenir stores anymore either.
Oh, wow.
Not this one with the rainbow and the Hollywood on it. It's a diamond. And if you see the beginning of the movie, this is in blue.
Oh, yeah. It's all over the beginning with the intros. There's that big diamond.
Yeah. And my cousin, Chris Roebling, he's like a famous rock star in New York. And as a matter of fact, Ben Stiller plays drums for his band. You know who Ben Stiller is?
Oh, yeah. I think everybody knows who Ben Stiller is.
Ben Stiller has seen the Hollywood Warriors. And
wow.
Chris Roebling plays the music at the beginning, the song at the beginning. It would be fabulous if you played that song. It's such an amazing song. I'm hoping, Chris is going to do the music for Christian Roebling is going to do the music for the series also. But I'm hoping, I got to talk to Jim about it, if we can still use that opening song, because it's almost like the theme song of the Warriors.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of people doing music on this too, which is pretty cool. Especially for something with a lower budget and everything. Like, just to have that many artists being able to be on there is awesome.
It's all my choice. They're all friends of mine. I said,
really?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I'm the executive producer.
Right? That's awesome.
This is my movie. I make the decisions, damn it. That's what you.
Rob just dreams of that for one of the times when he's making a movie.
Yeah, one of the times I just want to be able to tell it, no, this is my movie. You will do what I say.
I'm putting the diamond that doesn't have any power right now right here by the Zoom camera. There it goes. So if we need to recharge our batteries, you guys, here it is.
Okay, good.
Awesome. We will let you know. I wish I had a button for it. I really do.
Look.
That is a huge diamond. It really is.
Isn't that pretty? It's a
really
rainbow
is.
diamond because the rainbow signifies dreams come true.
I didn't realize that.
I have a couple of dreams I'd like to come true. Can I borrow that?
You sure can.
Well, aren't you a sweetheart?
Oh, that is very sweet. That's for sure. That's awesome.
Your dreams, both of your dreams are going to come true because you come into contact with the positive. Now, if you were a bad guy, you'd be done. This would do you in, but you're a good guy, so the diamond's going to make sure everything goes good for you.
Well, hot damn.
I think that's the first time somebody's ever told me I was a good guy. Like
that was definitely the first time ever anybody said that to you. Right? Definitely the only time. Yes, for sure.
More than likely.
So that was his dream come true, that somebody would call him a good guy. So you already making waves, young lady.
Did it? Damn it! Oh,
already making waves.
Right, that's great. So, anyways, other than just doing the Hollywood Warrioress, you have been in a ton of movies, and just and I know there's more than what's on IMDb as well, but just on IMDb alone, you're talking 82 credits, and
that's ridiculous.
Going back years.
Jim, I talked to Jim today because I wanted to, I didn't know the Bigfoot and Bus wasn't, I wasn't on there because I play the part of Star, a space girl, and until you told me, Jocelyn. So I messaged Jim Wynorski, who is he is more than my guardian angel in the horror world, but he is responsible for me becoming a scream queen. Because what happened was, of course, I did, graduation day back in the early 80s with Linnea Quigley. But after that, I went right into the A's because I was in all those movies that you saw, Miami Vice, The Man Who Wasn't There with Steve Guttenberg, Protocol with Goldie Hawn, General Hospital, a whole bunch of stuff in the 80s. And then I got called in for Al Pacino and got the part in Sea of Love. And then what happened after that was a change in the industry. And I got into Sorority Girls and The Creature from Hell from one of my classmates. I was in Sanford Meisner's Playhouse West. It's an acting workshop, and Jeff Goldblum's in there and everything. So, and I was a young actress, and this young actor, he was a director and writer. He came to me after class one day and he says, I wrote this movie and I want you to play the lead if you're interested, the part of Marianne in Sorority Girls and The Creature from Hell. And at that point, I wasn't working. And, I don't, I really, when I talk about myself, you guys, I don't want to sound like conceited or anything.
Oh, you're fine.
No.
Okay. But I mean, I just want to say all I ever wanted to do was act and dance and be an artist. So if I'm not acting, if I'm not making a movie or in a theater piece, I'm not happy.
Right.
But I'm happy. Happiness comes from within you, but you have to be real about it. You can't be happy if you're not doing your mission, fulfilling your mission in this lifetime. And my mission in this lifetime is to perform and be an artist. So when he approached me to play Marianne, of course it was a step down. It was Screen Actors Guild, but it wasn't like I didn't have my trailer. I didn't have like $1,000 a day. I didn't have.
You didn't have a per diem? What the hell?
Well, actually, I had a per diem, but it wasn't $1,000 a day.
That just won't do for a star of your caliber.
But what happened was I have no kind of ego or any kind of attitude about that kind of stuff. Some actresses do. I said, I'd love to, John. It was one of the hardest shoots ever, but it was the most fabulous shoot. I have so many funny stories about it, but it turned out to be a big hit. And it was on USA Up All Night with Gilbert Gottfried was the host, and then Rhonda Shear took over, and she brought me in on the pajama party at night. We became really good friends every Saturday night. And I don't know if you remember, there used to be little TV guides, and it would be listed right in the TV guide, and I kept a couple. And it's starring Debbie Dutch. And Len Lesser, who just passed away, he was a really good actor. He was in all those Clint Eastwood movies and a lot of stuff. Len Lesser, if you look him up. Anyway, he plays the crazy neighbor. And anyway, it became a hit. And from there, I was approached by the Scream Queens Illustrated people to become Scream Queen on the trading cards and, on the cover of the Scream Queen magazines. I don't know if you have that one.
No, I unfortunately don't have that picture.
Yeah, I have it in the other room, but I won't get up and get it now. But
if you have to, that's fine. Just stand up slow.
Damn it, Ron.
Why?
Anyway. So
I'm not mad at you. I'll just say
I became an official Scream Queen, and that's when Jim had been in the picture before, right before in the late 80s when I was in Playboy. I told him I'll pop my top because he had said to me at a Hollywood party, he said, "Oh, Debbie, I want you to be in one of my movies." And I said, "Oh, I'd love to, Jim," because he was working for Roger Corman. He was doing all these hit cool movies with Roger. And I said, "I'd love to." He says, "Well, you have to, pop." There it is.
Hey.
Yes, I found it. Oh, yeah.
I have that in the other room. But anyway.
Excuse me for a second. Let me clean up the drool on my face. Sorry about that.
But anyway, he says, "You have to pop your top." And I said, "Pop my top?" And he said, "Well, yeah, we have to have a shower scene in the Roger Corman horror movies if you want to be the lead." And I go, "Oh, I'm a New York actress. I've been on Broadway and just was in a movie with Goldie Hawn and Paramount. I was on General Hospital. I can't do that. They won't take me seriously." And so he said, "Okay, well, when you're ready, give me a call." So I got approached by actually, he was the guard at CBS. His name was Mark Livedell, but he was a photographer for the new starlets for Playboy that were being featured every month, right? So I would come in I was on, not General Hospital, this was The Young and the Restless. And then I got an actual part with Carolyn Jones, believe it or not, in a series called Capital, it was called. It only lasted a couple of days, a couple of years. I played Cecilia, her handmaiden, or not handmaiden. Carolyn Jones was a wealthy woman, and I was like her. I would come in and bring her things. I was not the maid, but like
her valet.
Yeah, but valets are men. I was
But
exactly.
Like the female equivalent.
Yes, exactly. And my name was Cecilia. So I came in and out of CBS quite a bit. And then Mark said to me one time, it was 1987, I can remember, or 89 rather. And I was coming in and he said, "Debbie," because we became friends. He was a really cool guy, and we were all young back then. And he said, "When you leave tonight, I want to talk to you." And I said, "Okay." And so when I had finished shooting all day, I'm going out of the studio and Mark goes, "Would you be interested in posing for Playboy?" And I go, "Well, I don't want to show down there." I said, "I do have, some limitations. I have no judgment about this at all, but wasn't about to show down there. And he says, no, you don't have to show down there. And I said, I don't want to show any, I can show my breast, but I don't want to show any, nip. You get it, right, guys?
Yeah.
I said, as long as I don't show the nip or that down there, I'm there.
Right.
And because Playboy at that point was really becoming a good springboard for young actresses. And this is 1989. So what happened was I shot with him and he submitted the pictures to Playboy and they accepted me. I became April, Miss Buns of the Month, Shannon Tweed's on the cover. And from there, I said, whoa, I got a lot of celebrity. I got the end of the mansion. I mean, it was really cool. So I bumped into Jim at a Hollywood party and I said, hey, Jim, guess what? And he says, what, Deb? And he got Jim Wynorski, who is this fabulous
Chopping
mall, everything. He's the best. He's an icon. Anyway, but at that time he was just, beginning too. And but he was hooked up with Roger Corman. He had the green light to any project he wanted to do, and he had the green light to any actress he wanted to use. Roger never, interfered.
That sounds like Roger.
Yeah, his decision. Once he gave over, delegated his power to somebody. Jim was one of them. He just let him run with it and gave him the money and everything else. So I told Jim, I said, I was just in Playboy. He says, really? And I said, yeah. And I showed him it. And he says, well, just let me know. I said, okay. So what do you think happened? Within about a year, I guess it was, he was shooting Haunting of Marla. And one of the girls who has a nude scene in the bathtub didn't show up on the set. Who knows why? She got cold feet, not to make a pun, because that bath water was freezing cold. My feet were freezing in that tub. But I went, there it is. That's a shot. I love this shot. And look at how young
awesome picture.
I know. Anyway, I got the phone call. The story behind that is I got the phone call. It was probably 9 a.m. on a weekday. I don't know what weekday it was. I had a little Beverly Hills apartment at the time, and it was Jim on the phone. He said, Debbie, it's Jim Wynorski. Come on, I have a part for you. Come on down to the Roger Corman Studios to film. I said, when? He says, right now. And I go, now? I said, I haven't even taken a shower yet. He goes, don't worry about that. You'll be in the bathtub. And he says, get down here right away. And I said, okay, I'm on the way. And I showed up, and the rest is history. After that movie came out, that was it. Jim and I were not only best friends, we have been, I'm going to get emotional, like I did earlier on in the taping, if you didn't notice.
I'm sorry about that, by the way.
Oh yeah, don't worry about it. I'm honored. That's a jewel of the Warriors, that scene. Anyway, I came down, and Jim and I are still best friends, and I have done at least 5 films with him, and I just recently did one of the coolest films ever. It's called Bigfoot or Bust. And Jim wrote in a part for me, and I'm with Antonia Dorian from Dinosaur Island, Tawny McClure, Doug McClure's daughter. Ooh. And we come from, I can't tell you, I don't want to say anything about the plot.
There's nothing that you can really find about this movie that I was able to really find. No,
it's brand new.
I know, but trust me, I looked really hard. Usually I can find at least something, but
and you're not going to hear anything from me except that it is going to be a huge hit. It is absolutely hilarious. It is absolutely fantastic. It's super sexy. It's one of Jim's, his style. It's going to be all over the globe. He's going to, I absolutely feel, don't quote me because I'm not actually, I can see the future, but on this, I can't say for sure, but I'm pretty sure he's going to get a huge deal with either Netflix or something, and you're going to see it all over the place. Bigfoot and Bus. It's going to be the best. Gail Thackeray's in it. Tawny McClure, Becky LeBeau, Lisa London. I mean, it's just Rocky. It's just going to be Cindy Lucas. It's just going to be a huge hit, and I'm just so excited to be in it. And
I'm excited to see it.
Oh, you're gonna love the part that Jim wrote this in, not just for me, I guess for Antonia and Tawny too, because the three of us come in and we're like a team. I'm not going to say anything more. That's all I'm going to say, except that it's absolutely fantastic. Whoever is watching this show, watch.
You have piqued my interest.
Yeah, Bigfoot or Bust. It is going to be fabulous. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be super sexy, and it's going to be one of the kind. It's not going to be like a replay or remesh of something that's been done before. Completely unique. And Chuck Sereno, it not only works the camera, but I'm sure he's going to do his amazing musical. He's a composer and he's so talented. I mean, the whole thing is just jam-packed with talent. Wait until you see it.
I really expressed my my interest in it the other night when we chatted.
Yeah, but the reason why I brought it up is that my relationship with Jim started back in the late 80s and is still ongoing in such a heartfelt, magnificent way. And he's so talented. And he's going to go down in the history books of filmmaking, Jim Wynorski. You wait and see.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He's a legend.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to argue that whatsoever. But before we go ahead and continue, I want to try to catch up on these comments because I mean I got pages of them right now. But actually, the person who was not actually on the show tonight is able to watch. He has a lot of family and some dogs at the house, so he can't be on for Chuck Nasty. But he remembers.
Go check out Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat.
And he says, "Man, I wish I could have been here tonight. Hi, Debbie. This is Chuck." So he says Sorority Girls was the film that got him into weird cinema. And yeah, actually, he's the one who chose for us to do that movie on the show.
What was your favorite scene, Chuck?
Well, we'll give him a moment to answer. There's about a 30-second latency between us and when the listener can hear.
Well, I'll tell you, if you want to hear a funny sorority girl story, I'll tell you one that will make you crack up.
Oh, yeah? Ooh. Yeah, I do. Give me just 1 minute. So we also got Jack chiming in. He says we both let our shows down. That's because he missed his spot on the show last week as well. And he says Up All Night, talking when you were said something about the USA Up All Night. That's how he got into Sorority Girls and the Creature from Hell. And then we got David chiming in. Speaking of Roger Corman, the late Dick Miller, who was in Demon Knight, was in a few of his movies. Yes.
He was in a lot.
David is our resident encyclopedia on everything. So he chimes in here and there, and when he does, it's just full of random facts about what we are talking about. Chuck is over here saying Bucket of Blood is a favorite. And then we got when we were talking about your Playboy thing, which, by the way, there we go.
Oh, you found it. See, nothing shows you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. See, it's YouTube friendly. Try to ban me now.
You should see the buns at the bottom. That's what made me miss Buns of the Month. I guess the pictures are cut off, huh?
Yeah.
Okay,
Unfortunately, some of his photos are pretty hard to find.
We haven't changed a bit. Wait a minute. I get in the camera. Oh, darn. Can you see?
Yeah.
You can see
fantastic.
We are the winners tonight.
You'll be able to see the buns in Bigfoot or Bust for sure. Because this is the actual. Oh, I better not say. I'm not gonna say it.
Okay. I'm not gonna pressure anything.
I mean, if you want to keep talking about your behind, go right ahead, and I'm not going to stop you.
This is top secret, top secret, top secret.
Well, we got Chuck saying, "No nip, no kitty." So, and that's what you were bringing up the Playboy. We also have Chuck. He's saying he's intrigued, talking about the Bigfoot or bust, and Steve saying sounds awesome, and David's chiming in, "Hey Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat," and he responds with David is Google, which is a fair assessment, that's for sure. And we all have to catch a cold shower after the show now. Thanks, Debbie, says Jack.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Jack says he is also a huge fan of the show and a huge fan of sorority girls as well, and absolutely adores you. So, that right there's going to at least catch us up on comments, so then we can actually keep the show going a little bit, so then nobody feels ignored. So, anyways,
hell with them. We got Debbie here.
Right. So, anyways, are you up for a couple of questions from us?
I sure am.
Ooh. So I guess Ron, you being my special co-host for tonight, man, and being a fellow director, film writer yourself, why don't you lead us off with some pretty cool questions, buddy?
Okay, so now, like I was trying to say before, you didn't really touch too much on the like losing your powers if you don't recharge type of thing in the film. Is that something that's going to be addressed in the series?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, nice.
Because it's called War of the Gods, and now the bad guy, who I conceived as a mix of Donald Trump, Vincent Price, and Edward X. Young, came out perfect. And Vincent Price, but yet a Donald Trump, media mogul type guy. And
I just love the idea of rolling those people together for the bad guy.
Yeah, and I sent him back to Planet X, which is actually a planet. You know that, right, guys? It's an evil planet in the galaxies. So I sent him back at the end of the movie. If you notice, when the heart of hell smashes, and then everything explodes, and bam, he takes off. But you can there's a subconscious. It's very subtle. You can't hear. He goes, "I'll be back," just like Arnold in Predator, which I happened to be on the set of Predator too. That my boyfriend at the time, who actually gave me this diamond ring, Sonny Landham. He played. No, that's a ruby. Wait a minute. Where is it? I can never get these cameras.
There's just too many diamonds people are giving you.
There it is. Wait a minute.
Oh yeah. Wow.
He had that design for me. Sonny Landham. I was on the set of Predator for 5 weeks in Puerto Vallarta with Arnold and Carl Weathers, Bill Duke.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
But anyway, I'll be back. And that's what he says. He doesn't say it with Arnold's. If you listen at the end, and he not only does he come back, but Edward X. Young, I don't know if we're going to, I hope to bring him back in the series, but what comes back are a bunch of evil gods, and you can't tell who is a human and who is a god, and who is good and who is evil. And it's so.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So in other words, I do lose my power from time to time. I get smashed down, and it looks bad. It really looks bad.
Interesting.
It looks bad. It looks bad, like it's going to be over for me.
No.
I hope not. That's for
sure. Of course not. We got 3 more episodes.
You're the reason I watched this.
Exactly. If you died in the first one, what are we gonna watch?
Yeah, right. I'll just tune out.
Right? It's like we're out now.
I'm gone. Forget this. No Debbie. What the hell am I watching it for?
Well, I guess to piggyback off of Ron's question there, I'm kind of curious. So, with this being the War of the Gods, are you going to be touching more on the Greek mythology of the original gods that you had in there with Athena and Zeus?
Did you recognize me as Athena?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I have the wig in the closet. I have the wig in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got everything still in the closet. We're gonna pull it back out again.
Nice. Now, but you guys are going to be fighting. I'm assuming with it being War of the Gods, you guys are going to have to fight other gods, though.
Oh yeah, you should see the first episode. It's jam packed. Everybody.
I want to. You haven't shown me yet.
Well,
I'm waiting.
We haven't premiered it yet.
I know. I'm just joking.
You're teasing me here. You're teasing me here, Debbie. You're teasing me.
And I can't watch it. It's not fair.
Well, you know what happened? You know, we were all locked down for 9 months or a year. Yeah, a year. It's been a year. So everything slowed down. But I do have to say I made 5 movies during COVID.
And I'm not sure. Was Arachnado one of them? Was that film before? Was that film before COVID or during?
Oh yeah, my stuff was the year prior.
Oh, was it? All right, because we actually did Arachnado recently as well.
I didn't shoot any War of the Gods during COVID, but I shot the Vampire Santa movie. Do you have that picture?
Yes, I do. Which I actually got 2 pictures of this one. So this is the one that's actually.
I love him. That's Sal. That's Sal Lizard.
You have no idea how intrigued I am to learn a little bit more about this movie. And I also have this picture as well.
Here I am. That's it.
Yeah.
Damn. I mean, what?
We shot that August 22nd. I flew into Nashville and people were scared to death to go on an airplane. And I said to Sal, I said, look, it's now or never. And he agreed with me. Yeah. And so we pulled it together and we shot. And I'll tell you, it's going to be so fantastic. That what we have now is a trailer. And Sal is regrouping. He got bigger financing. So, and the trailer isn't even available yet, but I'm in the trailer as a vampire and as an innocent Linda. I'm in a white, so cool, and a horse and buggy and the whole 9 yards. It's a period piece. It's going to be so cool. You're not going to believe how cool that movie's going to be.
I'm very intrigued on the whole, because obviously with it being Vampire Santa, this is going to be a Christmas movie, I'm assuming. So
yes, it is going to come out for Christmas.
And I can't think of a vampire Christmas movie. Can you, Ron?
Vampire Christmas movie. No. There is Santa's sleigh, but Santa's just more of a dick than
right.
Yeah.
And vampires, I would say, is still kind of cooler than Krampus. So I'm definitely down for a vampire.
Well, there's
Christmas
also
movie.
don't forget there's also I mean it's not vampires at Christmas, but if you want to go vampires in the snow, there's 30 Days of Night.
Right, and Let the Right One In.
Yeah, Let the Right. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
That's one of the few movies where the remake is as good as the original.
That's fair. But going back to it though, I don't think there is one with a vampire during Christmas specifically. And I love the idea of it because then I can say I have a Christmas movie I really like other than Gremlins.
I'm trying to think.
Well, I'll tell you, where we're shooting in the caves in Kentucky is unbelievable. It's so beautiful.
I have a couple of quick questions. What was it? First off, what was it like working with Len Kabaczynski?
Oh! I just love Len so much. He's so talented, so fabulous. Everything about it was over the top, beyond fabulous.
Yeah, he actually visits Milwaukee quite a bit, believe it or not. He's on. There's a YouTube channel that he makes appearances on around here, so I'm very familiar with Len's work.
This young man is so talented and so fabulous, and I just feel like we're family over there. I've done 4 films with Len, and he is so brilliant. He's brilliant, and he's a black belt martial artist.
Yep.
When you go into his home, he has trophies everywhere. He's just fantastic. He's just the greatest guy in the world. He writes, directs, produces. His movies are all action. None of them are horror that I've been in. They're Hellcats, a lot of motorcycles, gangs. I play. There it is, and I have it. And he sent me a huge poster of it, but I have the small one framed. All my posters I frame and put up. Let me see. You see it?
Oh yeah,
all of them. Do
you have any space left on your walls?
I would say I would love to see a virtual tour of your house.
Oh, well, you'll see it. You can see it in the last Meat Hook.
Ooh, really?
And we shot here. Well, I've shot so many movies in my places, and also, remember at the beginning, I said you're stumped about the fourth character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I play in Warrioress.
Yeah, yeah.
My living room.
Shot in your living room. Who? Well, I'm convinced. First off, that I know you were wearing a wig.
I can't believe you two are red-blooded men, right? Male.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't think of the scene I'm talking about.
There's lots of compress in that movie.
Right. Well,
especially
I remember
that scene with Debbie D.
No,
that we need to talk about.
Not the lesbian scene.
I'm trying to think of which other one. You're saying the best scene, and it's not the lesbian scene.
Well, it's not the best scene, but it sure gets a lot of audience reaction.
Does it now? There were a lot of reactions I had during this movie to begin with.
Remember charades?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm loving this version of charades.
Hold on. I'm gonna have to figure this out.
I'm making noises. What?
So Ron, dude, do you have any ideas yet?
Sorry, I'm kind of.
You guys.
I'm very thirsty right now.
You don't have the movie nearby, right?
What was that?
I can bring it up. Hold on. I'll bring it up right now. Hold on a second here.
I get the movie.
I fast forward to the scene.
How long into it is it?
Okay. I would say after the wheelchair scene, go about 5 minutes.
Okay, I gotta get past this DoorDash ad first.
That's fair. Unfortunately, YouTube with all of their ads.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
can continue our conversation. But
you guys talk while I look for her.
Yeah, let's talk. Yeah, right.
I think I actually have a still of it. Are you you're in there? Oh God!
After the wheelchair scene.
Yeah, okay, after the wheelchair. Yeah, just a few minutes after that. So, anyways, while you are Ron's in there,
I'm going to give you a hint, Ron. I'm walking in to meet with Deborah, and I'm on Sunset Boulevard, and I'm going into this big building. It's called the Glickman Building on the Sunset Strip, and it has Cecil B. DeMille with his camera out front.
Not yet, Sam.
And I have my Hollywood Warrioress package.
I know exactly what scene. Like, hold on one second, because I think we're talking about this scene right here.
Deborah gives me an apple.
Yes. I thought that was
right after I bite the apple.
Oh yeah.
So go to and I wrote that scene. That's it. Wait a minute. Let me get my glasses on for this. Okay. There it is.
Oh. And of course we get the ad.
Go to the beginning of the scene. Go back there. Wait a minute. No. That's my living room.
No, I said I haven't yet, Sammy Wolford yet.
Oh, that's you there as well with the wig on.
Keep playing it. Hey, you're cutting off Randy's head. Cut off Randy's head.
What a hell of a headache. So there was the scene.
Wow.
See, what they did was I wrote that scene in because I felt there wasn't enough sex in the movie. So
is there ever enough sex?
I thought there wasn't enough sex in the movie.
And so the whole point is they're trying to take me over to get to my niece, my young niece. So they're trying to take me over the sword fight, the lesbian, but they didn't try and take me over sexually by man. So they sent Randy, and I call him Raven, and he's like an evil, demigod that comes in and seduces me through the poison apple. And I wrote the apple scene and everything because it's in the Bible, about, when Eve tempted Adam with the apple, and the snake came and made her do it. And then that's when, people get into trouble with sex. And so that's why I wrote that scene. And now that's my fourth character. That was me.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I can see that.
I had a red wig on. So you didn't even recognize me, huh?
Well, to be honest, when I first saw that scene, I thought when you were having headaches, it was a flashback of yourself. So I had a feeling it was yourself. The hair kind of threw me off, so I was thinking maybe like a prior life, because it's like the way the headache happens and everything, it doesn't really show it as you or anybody really in particular. So I don't know, like it was how I interpreted it, at least. But like I thought it was definitely you personally. But
you did.
Yeah. When we said something, I said that fantasy girl earlier, and nobody said anything.
I guess I wasn't. We were talking about. That's cool. I'm so glad you did recognize, because a lot of people don't recognize me. I play 4 characters in that movie.
That's like I said, that's what I call pulling an Eddie Murphy. I absolutely love it. So anyways, let me go ahead and catch us back up on some of these comments real quick. And everyone says, oh wow, badass poster, they love everything. And Chuck's from Kentucky, he's over there, and he says Justin's on. Oh yeah, look at Jack being a dick. Let's
What's
see
new?
Yeah. Let's see, we got Sam chiming in as well. He's saying hell yes. And we got, obviously during the break, Ron needs to grab his lube and drop below the desk. Obviously, you've excited our lovely co-host Ron today.
Hey, I think she's gorgeous, and I'll be honest, I'd love to work with her sometime. What's that?
Rhonda Shear.
No,
Ron.
Oh, thank you. I haven't worked with her for, oh gosh, it seems like forever.
Now she just sells bras.
Interesting. So David chiming in. I love Sunset Boulevard. It's such a classic film. And let's see here. Jack chiming in. Justin just showed boobs. Yes, I did. And
who cares?
Chuck, nice. He loves the logic. Obviously we're talking about when we were talking about your other sequel, and yeah, wow. A little bit of joking between some of the commenters as well in there, between each other, to say the least, which is, I don't know, whatever, it is what it is.
That's what usually happens on this show.
Yeah, you can't stop it, But anyways, going back to some of our questions, I don't want to keep you too long, so I don't know exactly how long you got. But one of the things that we wanted to ask you about is if you actually had any stories from sorority girls and the Creature from Hell. Because I'm going to be honest with you, when we did that movie, Chuck and I, first off, we found it kind of interesting. Like, Chuck grew up and loved that one. With me, it was a little bit different. I liked the movie and everything, But I went and I did some research into the movie, and like there were weird little things, nothing involving you personally, but like one of the guys who was actually in there went and reviewed his own movie on IMDb, and we ended up seeing it while doing the show, and we found out that I forget the guy's name personally.
Not Eric Clark.
No, this was somebody who just played like a cop or an extra for like part of it. But he was upset about the pay and everything, and he went on there talking a lot about the movie, and we thought it was interesting.
Well, that's a way to air your grievances.
Yeah.
You got to go to the horse's mouth. You can't listen to people.
Oh no. We just thought it was interesting, but we were kind of curious if you actually had any interesting stories of doing that movie, in particular.
It was absolutely fabulous. It was like we're all young kids, and with our big dreams as actors, and John put it all together, and he was a great guy, and he did the best he could, and he gave us great roles, and he gave us freedom on the set to interpret and work how we wanted within the script and the story, which is very interesting. It's not the run-of-the-mill horror movie. You never know who's doing what and what's happening where. And I love Doug plays the Indian Native American. I don't know what the heck he was, an Indian head or whatever.
I believe they called him Uncle Ray.
Yeah, he was Uncle Ray, but he actually was
like a shaman.
Yeah, and
it was never really wasn't really.
It was fantastic, and the artistic license that we were allowed once again to create our own characters and was absolutely fabulous. Our locations on Mount Baldy, in the Bronson Caves that have been used time and time again up in Hollywood, are just fantastic, very classic. And he just did a marvelous job with what he had to work with. And I'll tell you one really funny story. He actually got money from distribution company. I forget what it was called, American something, but very nice people. And so we would actually went in and looped because the sound was off and a lot of stuff. So we went into a studio, we were able to loop. And then they said, well, we have to add this scene in the woods. So we went back to Mount Baldy after we had already finished. And it was right before the snows. So it was freaking freezing. So we only had the cabin up there for, I think it was one night. And we went up there, and it's a scene where I go through the woods, and I'm looking. I wish I had the photo here. It's a beautiful photo when I'm looking like this, my dark hair at the time, and looking for the monster, and my boyfriend, Chris, he got shafted by the sexy blonde girl, Dory, who ditched him in the jacuzzi for somebody else. And then he came to me, and we found out that we were always true loves. And so anyway, so I'm looking for him in the woods, and everybody's getting killed one by one. So at this point, I'm getting really scared. And John McBrady, the director, goes, okay, so Debbie, you're walking through the woods. You're, the monster, out there. And he said, then you trip over the head, because my friend Wynn, he gets strangled, and his head gets decapitated and left in the woods. So, and I'm supposed to pick it up and scream, and I go, and I'm holding Wynn's real head, but there's a prosthetic head that gets chopped off, and I'm supposed to trip over it and find it, right?
Yeah.
The sun is about to rise, and we have to get the shot. It's like essential for the movie, and this is it. So I'm tiptoeing through the tulips, and I see that see the head, it's all dark, and I kick the head goes flying through the woods. It's a rubber head. And John goes, cut, cut, cut. Everybody was silent for a moment. And then he says, Debbie, I said trip over the head, not kick the head. Everybody just cracked up laughing. At this point, I had the giggles. I fell on the floor. I'm rolling all over the place, laughing so hard. He says, and he started to laugh. He said, Debbie, we got to get this shot before the sun comes up. And the sun's just coming up. It's like around 6 a.m. We've been shooting, of course, all night. Since 8 o'clock, when it started, 7 o'clock, we showed up in Mount Baldy. We had to shoot all night for our night shoot. And the sun's coming up like this. So I couldn't stop laughing. You know, when you get the giggles, especially when you're overtired and you're really working hard, you're doing just rolling out one scene after the other, no breaks, I pick up the head. And when you see me screaming, I'm actually laughing my brains off. I was laughing so hard. So, because we found the head, it took I don't know how long to find the head. Everybody goes, did you find the head? Did you find it? No, not yet. It was funny.
That's actually really funny.
So when you see me, when I'm not doing it to the rubber head. I'm actually doing to Wynn's actual head because it's a close up. I'm me screaming, looking at the head, and Wynn is trying to be serious while I have him by the throat, and I'm going, but I'm actually. That's a true story. That's one.
That's funny.
Story.
I love that. All right. So,
amazing.
Anyways, going back throughout your entire career, and I know you started on Broadway and everything, but with everything that you've done, including the Broadway, what would you say is your personal favorite role that you have done?
Shannon in Death Dancers.
Which one? Death Dancers? Is that what you said?
Shannon in Death Dancers. See the black one?
Yes. Awesome picture.
Fantastic looking poster.
Oh yes, very, very beautiful. I love it.
Wow, so that was a very odd noise you just made, sir. And they're talking about me doing lewd things in the comments.
Yeah, whatever. My comments are always full of lewd things.
Everything you say is lewd.
Whatever. It could be worse. To be fair, 90%.
To be fair, Jack could be here and make it way worse.
Oh, trust me, I know. It's funny because we did an episode and I ended up messing up really bad, Debbie, and kind of told everybody that he has a boner problem and takes a pill. Oh
no, wait a minute. You gotta show the scene with me and Debbie D dancing in our Chiang songs.
Oh yeah, definitely. You're gonna have to give me a moment to get that ready and everything. But
how did that scene come about? Was she okay with it, or did?
Okay. So what happened was Debbie D and I have also a little act together called the Double Ds, and we have a big fan club and everything. And it's been going on since we met 1995, and so we get hired to do professional photo shoots. I'm still a model, etc. and so forth. And you can show a couple of my latest model shots, Justin.
Oh yes. I'm sorry. I was trying to also get this other ready.
Mercy.
Oh yes, yeah. I got quite a few.
Yeah, this was a photo shoot with Tom Barrett, who's a professional celebrity photographer here in Hollywood. Last month. This was
obviously those were for Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah, I wanted to do it for Valentine's Day. Yep, and that's the outfit I have on right now.
Yeah.
I have the same outfit.
Awesome pictures. I love it.
So what happened was Debbie D and I did a photo shoot, and one of the scenarios or scenes of the photo shoot, of which we were paid for, and etc. and so forth, is the Chinese robes. I wear the black, and Debbie wears the red, and we had little black Chinese wigs on, etc. and so forth. So that was prior to the shoot, because I go back every summer, so that's why I do a lot of shooting in Philadelphia, New York, etc., and so forth. So when we were shooting at my house in New Jersey, we have a big estate there, and so when we were shooting, I said to Rusty, the director, Rusty Petchuk, I want to create a lesbian relationship between Morgana and me. And he says, okay, Deb. And I said, I have this vision in my head of me and Debbie D dancing around.
Hey now.
That's it.
Oh yeah. Do you want me to go ahead and show this? So then,
yeah, show the dancing.
All right. So here we go, and this is the what I was convinced was the better scene, but here we go.
You should see, the audience loves it.
Which, what a place to stop that video.
This is the greatest episode ever. Chuck, thank you for not being here today. Thank you.
Anyway, how that came about was that I said, I want to do a dream fantasy dance with the two outfits that we had for the photo shoot, like the weekend prior or something, with a very dear friend of ours, but also he hired us for professional photo shoots. Anyway, and I said, and I created that whole thing, and I'm not bragging or anything. This is my movie. It's a vision, like all artists, they get visions in their head and then they recreate them on film. And so I don't want to give you any like really graphic behind the scenes production.
Go right ahead.
You can if you want to.
The editor was absolutely said, no, that scene is not going in the movie. It doesn't make any sense with the story. I'm sorry. I really advise against it. So I was very nice about it. And I said, well, I really want it in. And, I really think it creates this like sexuality between Morgana and I, and my conflict between her being the bad person and me being, trying to get my niece from her, who kidnapped her basically. And he said, but it doesn't make any sense. It's going to take away from the storyline. I advise against it. This is the night before the DVD was air expressed to me in Hollywood for the big LA premiere. And I brought a lot of financiers from the American film market to the premiere that I had. Well, guess what? I just said, I want it in, put it in.
And it was in.
And what do you think? Now I want to know your opinion. What do you think?
What do I think of it? That scene specifically?
It works for the movie.
It does work for the movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's especially considering everything else that's going into this movie and everything. Like, a lot of it is sexualized. So for them to for you to actually have the scene of you and the villain having some kind of sexual chemistry as well in the movie does make sense in this movie. Like, I can't see it not going over well.
Okay, well, wait a minute. What do you think about the girl on girl aspect of it?
I've always felt
Yeah.
the same way about it my whole life. It's okay with me.
Does it get you? But does it excite you?
Well,
Does a bear shit in the woods?
That's my point. You should have seen it at the premiere. Of course, I'm drinking my champagne, but I'm watching everybody. I'm watching when that scene came on, there you could hear a pin drop. Everybody went to the front of their seats. And
was there more that happened in that scene that he cut out? Like, did you guys come to a compromise where he's like,
no. He kept everything perfect. Brilliantly done.
That's awesome. Now, you said your editor was also the one doing the special effects, right?
Yeah, he's my partner.
Was he the one who did all the special effects for like the fighting as well, with like the energy beam type things?
Yes, he is.
Okay, all right. Because I was like because you and I talked personally about this, so I know a little bit more about for say the budget, etc. And after talking to you and seeing this, that's awesome. Yeah, but it's awesome considering what you've put into it. That it looks that good.
Wait until you see the new series. It's going to be even better.
I'm still waiting for you to show it.
You would think it was like a huge budget movie, and of course it's SAG. I have to go SAG. So when I sell it, everybody gets paid.
Right, which is awesome. It's going to have better production, that's for sure. It's kind of with that. But anyways, let me go ahead and catch us up on some of the comments here.
Jeez, the comments.
Oh my God, there's so many of it. So we got Chuck. I discovered puberty because of Rhonda Shear. Jack. Every time Debbie gets up, his face glows.
Mine. He's talking about me.
We got Jen the Fierce chiming in. Hey, Jen, thanks for coming and watching us. And Jack, don't you dare, motherfucker.
Oh, we know what that's about.
Jack loves it when I tease him on the air. So
about how his dick doesn't work?
Yeah. Right. Oh. We got David chiming in. Sounds a lot like Corey's Haim and Corey Feldman, who were in a lot of movies together. We got Jack chiming in, ladies and gents. Justin can't make it the rest of the show because he's dead. And then we got Carlos Borloff, Jerry Moore. I think that's two people. I'm not 100% sure. And he says, Debbie Dutch is my favorite gal. She looks amazing. Glad I found this show.
or maybe it's somebody with some kind of a split personality, and they're just using one Facebook account because they don't want to have the hassle of handling two.
I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure. He says, awesome scene for sure. Obviously talking about the one that we just showed. He says, I like the slow motion style effect. Very dreamlike. Yeah, definitely. One of the things I thought was kind of interesting, I guess, going to the style and everything is with some of the angles and the viewpoints of the way this was filmed, I almost got a Ron Oliver vibe, which I know him personally because of my age for stuff that he did with Goosebumps and stuff like that. But he was always big on those kind of odd angles when you're doing the filming, which was really cool for me at least.
Well, Rusty did most of the angle type of shots, because we have I think 4 camera people on this movie, and one is me, and I don't even know how to work a camera. I had lost all my camera people, and I had to shoot the Halloween scene here in Hollywood. And my girlfriend who works cameras, she ended up going to Halloween party when I had to be up there to shoot. I don't know if you know about the big Halloween parade here in West Hollywood, but it's amazing. Okay, so Rusty had sent me from Ohio his camera, and we call her Holly. And I'm looking at Holly, and I said, well, my girlfriend who's supposed to be shooting, she's, she knows how to work cameras and everything. She's partying somewhere. I said, well, I guess I got to go shoot it. So I went up to Barney's Beanery. I don't know if you know Barney's Beanery, but it's a real famous little pub. Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison hung out there, and it's really cool. It's at the end of my street. And, that's at the beginning of the Santa Monica Boulevard Hollywood Halloween Carnival, it's called. So I go to Barney's, big long line, because James told me, we need a big long line going into the big Hollywood charity party at Deborah's house.
Right.
Yeah, well, it's actually at my house in the movie, but it's the fundraiser. So we need a big long line going into the big Halloween party where all the shit hits the fan, So I said, don't worry, I'll get it. Halloween night, I'll get it. Everybody lined up going into Barney's. And then the Hollywood Carnival, I'll have all kinds of cool Hollywood, Halloween costumes and stuff. It's Halloween night. I take the camera up there, and there's mobs of people everywhere. I do not know how to work this camera. So I go up to one of the young boys going into Barney's in line, and I said, hey, do you know how to work cameras? And he said, well, what kind of camera? He says, yeah, actually I do. And I said, well, can you show me how to work it? He said, sure. And I said, I'll give you $4 to go get a draft beer. He says, okay. So he says, all you do is press this and that and go. And the green light goes from red to green or something. I don't know. Or it goes red, the record. I said, oh, okay. I said, how do I know that I'm actually filming? He says, you just peek into the little screen over there. And I said, okay. So he goes in, gets his beer, and he showed me how to do, one shot. And then he gave me the camera. I said, thank you so much. I shot all the Halloween footage myself. And wait till you see it. When you see the Halloween party. Not the Chiller Theater. The Chiller Theater, I had Vinny Vlado from Sci-Fi Ninja Theater shoot.
Oh, yeah, I remember that part.
I wasn't even there. John Link and Ed X Young are there. It's a Chiller Theater. I didn't make it that Chiller Theater. And so Vinny, I said, Vinny, you can have a part in the movie, and I'll send you the money. I send him a little money for the camera. So from the Chiller Theater, you see it go to the West Hollywood Carnival and the line outside of Barney's that I shot. So when you see the editing, you're not going to believe what was done.
I saw the editing. I watched the whole thing. That's actually really cool. I really like that.
I shot that, and I also shot the James Dean shot of the
by the observatory.
I shot that.
Oh, nice.
I shot awesome. Everybody had left me, and I had to get the shot. Jim and I discussed it. I said, we got to get a shot of the Griffith Observatory. He says, I agree. And I said, I don't have anybody left here to shoot. And I said, so I guess I'm going to do it. He says, okay, go ahead. I went and shot it.
Nice. It turned out great.
Things I shot. The Halloween thing here in Hollywood. And I don't know how to work a camera. I mean, I've been around cameras. I know how to direct. I know, of course, how to be in front of a camera. But to work a camera...
Well, considering you don't know what you were doing, it still turned out pretty well. And some of the people in here are actually think the same thing. Carlos says, "Good camera work. Love handheld moving shots." He says he's also a TV horror host himself, and he says, "Give yourself some credit. You're a good camera OP. You've got a good eye for stuff." He says Vinny is my pal, so obviously he knows Vinny as well.
Oh, Vinny, I love Vinny. He's so funny in that scene. He says, I never get any breaks.
Right. There are some really funny things with that one.
John Blink is phenomenal on it.
Yeah, that's for sure. Ron, did you have any other questions? I know we're gonna have to probably get this wrapped up here soon.
Just if she wants to work together sometime, really.
Oh.
Ron, you damn poacher.
I am a huge poacher. I've been to the poaching place. I got nothing for that. I'm sorry. My brain isn't working, and it's all your fault, Debbie.
Before we leave, can we finish off with the final fight scene when I killed Deborah at the end? It's only like a minute.
Oh, yeah. Just give me a couple of seconds here to go ahead and get that ready. So, anyways,
when I come down from the bubble, and I told you about the big mosquitoes biting me, it was 104 degrees. We shot that for 4 hours. I had to fight 9 professional swordsmen.
That
and
is
I had the sword from the
insane.
Lord of the Rings.
That is that is a lot of fighting. That's for sure.
Did you ever run into the Jersey Devil and the Pine Barrens?
That's exactly what the guy ends up. Devereaux turns into the Jersey Devil. If you see his face in the.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's a devil. Okay.
Yeah, Carlos says he loves Deborah, loves everything Deborah does. She is awesome. Obviously, he's a super Deborah Dutch fan. Which, honestly, who can blame him?
I can't blame him.
Can you contact me on Facebook or Instagram, Carlos? Please, Debbie Dutch, Facebook, or please go to my Facebook page, Hollywood Warrioress, and you'll see all the latest on everything. You'll see clips of the movie. You'll see the different actresses. And in the new episode, like Tina Krause is in it, Donna Hamblin. I have some really sexy Donna Heislings in the new movie. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
I know I sent you a friend request before the episode. So.
Oh, good. Yeah. And go to the Hollywood Warriors and of course like the page, please, so I can get bigger financing for the series. All that kind of good stuff. Instagram, the Duchess Star.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
here it is. Oh, it's a bubble there. Did it?
This right here is like right beforehand. Because this right here is when you got the.
No, that's it. No, you got to go before this.
Yes. Hold on, right.
Here we go.
There we go. The scene when you get transported into the woods.
See the sword?
You're lucky you didn't have to take the ring back as well.
You want a game? You got one.
That's Sean McGarry. He's the sword master, the black belt. They choreographed all the swords. Sean McGarry.
Give me the power.
And there's our final battle. What a scene! I really like how all the scenes go like that.
Right before when I arrive in the bubble, I'm being transported. I chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo 3 times, which is a mantra for world peace and enlightenment of humanity. And it's right at the beginning. I just wanted to share that.
Oh, interesting. That's
Yes.
for sure.
Mantra, which I actually chant in real life. It brings you the power to make your dreams come true. So I wanted to share that with everyone.
Right. Now, by any chance, is that something that you picked up doing everything that you do with the yoga?
What?
Is that something that you picked up doing with like yoga? Because I know you also do a lot of yoga stuff as well.
Oh, I teach yoga. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'd watch a movie of just that.
Wow. So, by the way, Carlos says that he will for sure. He says, that hurt. Debbie's a badass. Nice at it. And David's chiming in. This scene looks like something out of Xena or the 80s movie called Barbarian Queen. Which, yeah, for the fight scenes, it kind of does give that impression. That's for sure. We got Carlos chiming in again. I'd love to show some of these clips on our TV shows. Very cool. He says, bravo. And I will be, if he needs any help being sent your way, Debbie, I will go ahead and help him if that's the case. I guess with that being said, though, we've been running for quite a while, so I'm going to go ahead and start to wrap everything up. So, Debbie, thank you once again so much for coming on. We had a blast being able to chat about some of these movies that you've been in, and especially about Hollywood Warrioress. And do you want to tell everybody where they can find you, where they can find some of your movies and stuff?
Well, I just shared, please give me a request on Facebook, Debbie Dutch, or the Hollywood Warriors page, where all the latest updates are. I really want to be friends with all of you. I love you all. And I really want everyone to make their dreams come true. Never give up. That's my motto, no matter what. And make the impossible possible.
That's awesome. It really, really is. And just so you know, when this gets released out on podcast form as well, all those links will actually be shared as well for everybody. And I am also putting them into the chat. So everybody who does want to go and check those out, there is a link for her Hollywood Warrioress page. And the page for her personal page will be popping up there shortly as well. So, Debbie?
Instagram, the Duchess Star.
Yes, of course, the Duchess Star. So I'm going to go ahead and drop you down below then real quick, and we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Feel free to stay down there if you want to chat a little bit after the show. You're not obligated, of course.
I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's Good Friday, Easter, whatever religion we are. It's Easter weekend. It's springtime. It's new beginnings, fresh start, and dreams come true.
Yeah, that's I cannot argue that whatsoever. So, but thank you so much. It means a lot. I know this is something that we've actually, I guess, to bring it up a little bit. This is something that we've been planning for a while. So this isn't like a last minute type thing. So this took a while in the works to get this to happen, and I'm very appreciative of being able to actually have you on here and do this. So thank you once again.
I really have to tell you, and I'm sending all my love.
And stick around down in the green room if you want to talk after the show. It'll only be a few minutes.
For sure. Thank you very much. So, man, what a fucking show, dude, right?
Yeah, that's Whoo! Let me get another drink here, because whoo! Yeah.
Right? It's definitely a fun episode, dude. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Don't forget to check out my band, Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat.
Right.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun, brother.
Right. Thank you, Chuck Nasty. I appreciate it very much. I guess some of the things that I also want to go ahead and mention before we go and get out of here is thank you to Sean Smithson of Smithson Creations. Go check out what he has going on over there. He also has a really cool like Viking woodworking page that he's working on, and obviously those who know him, he does a lot of woodworking, and he's fucking phenomenal, dude. Like you really got Ron. You already know about him.
Oh yeah, Sean's amazing.
Oh yeah, great all around dude and everything too, except for the fact that he made me watch Monster Dog, which we still have a little bit of issues on. I'm just teasing Sean, and I want to go ahead and say thank you, Carlos, for coming on, checking us out. I appreciate everybody who did tune in for the first time this week. It's been awesome. Also want to go ahead and give a small shout out to BlueRayUnderground.com. Go there, check out some of the movies that they have. They do some extra sponsoring for the show, and we really appreciate that. And hey, don't forget, check out Ron over at the his Twitch stream, which is twitch.tv/RealRonPurtee.
Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern.
And you catch me occasionally on there too, playing some Dead by Daylight.
In fact, I think you might be on tomorrow night, won't you? Possibly, maybe.
Probably. I'm gonna have to kill somebody.
Well, we're gonna have to get a custom match going then.
Well, that doesn't seem hard with the groups that we've been getting. That's
no, it does not. They all want somebody to die, which is great. And yes, Samuel, I will get a rag for myself.
That's fair. That is fair. All right, man. Ron, you got anything to add before we go ahead and close this shit up, man?
No, just watch Hollywood Warrioress and
you check it out.
Check it out. Yeah,
it's a fun watch. Like you can tell that they're, like I said, we've discussed it a few times that it is lower budget, but considering the lower budget and what this actually does bring to the table, it's phenomenal. Like she did a great job with it. You can tell it's a total passion project.
Yeah, like I told you before. I'd much rather watch this a second and third time than ever watch a Zack Snyder picture, because there's passion and heart behind this project. It's not cold and depressing. It's full of hope. It's like Superman's supposed to be.
Exactly. I agree, but for different reasons, but just because I don't really care about Zack Snyder to begin with.
No, and he's like, I mean, for anybody who thinks he's the greatest director in the last 30 years, I mean, there might be something wrong up here, but that's for a whole other show.
Sam Raimi is still making movies, so until Sam Raimi dies, nobody can say anybody's a greater director.
Spielberg is too.
That's fair, but
so is Scorsese, and
Raimi's still my guy, though.
I know, and Del Toro's still making movies. I mean,
that's fair. That's fair.
No.
But anyways, with that being said, Ron, the crypt is closed.